Hello everyone, welcome to STK's Academy. This is part 3 of our real estate website. In the previous part, we created the cards where we were able to see all the hotels and their details on hover over it. In this part, we are going to create this section where we are showing this profile, multiple profile of people, as well as there is a running animation for these numbers that we are going to create. And on the right side, we will show this UI of the image, as well as we can see there is a special offer image and a contact us now button as well. So let's create this. I have my VS Code open. I am in my app.js. So here we will first start by creating one more scale here, because as we scroll down, we want, because we will going to the towards the home section 4. So the home section 3 should now, as we scroll. So how we have implemented the functionality for home section 1 and 2, we will replicate the same functionality for home section 3 as well, so that it scales scales, it downsizes as we scroll down. So let's start by let me just quickly copy these lines. We will create one more ref. Let's name it as ref3. We will have one more school progress. This will be school progress 3. Okay, this will be ref3. So just quickly add ref3 here. Let's just scale it to scale 3. Okay, let's pass 3 here as well. Okay, so we have our scale 3 with us now. Above is the motion div with the first reference. Inside it we have created the second reference. So now what we will do is, actually inside this where we have called this home section 3, we will create one more motion.div. Okay, this motion.div's reference will be nothing but, okay, actually what we need to do is copy this and take it inside this. So this is the motion.div ref. Okay, I think so. Okay. It was already inside the other ref only. So what we can do is, we will just quickly use ref3 here. Okay, so we have the third ref. Now inside this, we will need one more motion.div. So let's quickly create our motion.div. Inside this, we will have our home. I have currently just added home section 3 here. This will be home section 3. Then we will have one more here. I will just add home section 3 outside. This will be our actual home section 4. But just to see the change in our screen, we are just replicating home section 3 component here. Now this will be the same. We will just add the scale to this motion.div, but this will be scale 3. Okay. Okay. So I'm already running the app. So let's just quickly see the output, how it looks. Okay, let me bring it here. Okay, scroll it down. Okay, so as I scroll it down, okay, I think so it's scrolling a bit too much. Let's quickly change its scroll. So let's take it 0.65. Let me reload it. Okay, let's scroll below. Okay, this looks good. Okay, this looks good. 0.65, I think so makes much more sense, because as we are going up, it's scaling up, and as we are moving down, it's scaling down, and it's not like like minimizing totally. So this looks good. Okay, let's hop on and create our section 4 now. So we will start by creating our home section 4 component inside our source. Let me create one home section 4.js. Okay, so we have our home section 4. Inside this home section 4, we can let me first quickly open the UI, bring it here. Okay, so here first on the left side, we have this small profile section. Okay, we have one text. Below it we have this avatars which are overlapping on each other, as well as there is a small text around it. Meet our professional team. Okay, then we have this running animation. This we will create a specific, this we will actually create one reusable component only for this part, like for let's 73 plus and this text, as well as this border bottom, and this we will just reuse for the other threes, and we will start the animation at different like in between some delays, so that it looks like one on first one is doing, then second one, the third one is completing, like that it should look. And then let's first start by completing this this profile part, and then we will go ahead and complete this right part, because there is just an image with some details that has been shown over it, and then finally we will move ahead and create this running animation part. Okay, so first let me quickly remove this. Okay, so first we will start by creating, let me just quickly create const profile section. Okay, will be our profile section. Inside our profile section, we will have first the total div, which will be containing our text as well as the below section of avatars. First will be the div. This div will have just a p tag where we have some random text. Let me just copy some, copy down some random text from some website. Let me just quickly go ahead on a lorem ipsum text. Okay, open it. Let's just copy. Okay, copy this text. Let's paste this over. Okay, so I have my dummy text pasted here. Okay, so once this is there, we can have one more div just below it. This will be our avatar div. Okay, we have all the avatars actually overlapping over each other, right? So what we can do is, let me also create the CSS file for this. So let's just quickly create one home section CSS file for this. Okay, home section dot CSS. Let me rename it to home section 4. Okay, now it's much better. Okay, let's import this directly. So import home section 4 dot CSS. Okay, so we have imported it as well. Let me call this profile section. Okay, so here let's just call this quickly. Okay, so profile section is also called. Now we'll first we have actually how many avatars? We actually have around 3 to 5 avatars, and then we have some text as well. So what we need is, inside this we will have one div where we have another div which will be actually okay, so let's create this div and then one more div. This will be some text, so let me just use h4 tag here, or let's just use p tag because it's just a sample text that they have given. So that is nothing but meet our professional team. Okay, so we have this. Then inside this we will go ahead, create 1 2 3 and 4. Just map over this for each item. Okay, actually we won't. Okay, we will use the key for this directly, and here we will go ahead, create a div. This div will have a key of item. Okay, inside this we will have avatar from material, because material directly provides us with the avatar, and we need some source for this avatar. Let me quickly go ahead and copy some random image from Unsplash or somewhere. Let's just go to unsplash.com, copy any random person image. Okay, quickly search for me Unsplash. Okay, is there any? Okay, let me directly copy it. Okay, let's have this copy image address. Let's close this down. Currently this will be all the 4 images will look same. We can add multiple images, but currently because we just want to create the UI around it, so we will just keep it like this only for now. So we have, okay, let's see how our home section 4 actually looks first. So let me quickly go ahead and just change this thing to 4, and let's see how this looks. Okay, so we have our 4 section with us, where we have our this dummy text, we have this all the 4 avatars as well as this. So now first let's work on arranging this in a proper manner inside our home section 4. Okay, let's give some class. Start by giving some class names. This will be our profile section container. Okay, let me go into CSS file as well. So home section 4's profile section container, this will be display flex, I think so. Okay, display flex and flex direction column. Okay, this looks good. Then we have this section with the text, and then this section. Okay, so now all of them will be properly below each other. Let's give this class a name as profile section avatar. Okay, let's add some CSS for this as well. Okay, so first actually we should rename this to avatar container, because this contains both the text as well as the avatar. And what we can do is give the class name to this internal div which actually only contains the avatar part. So that would be much more sensible to do. And I think so we can remove this extra div right from here. Yes. Okay, so we have actually two of those divs inside our avatar container, and then we have this profile section only avatar. So let me just copy this name for container. Let's use it here. Inside this will be simply a display flex. Okay, align item center. So we have align items to center as well. Okay, so this section is actually now the text as well as our avatars would be aligned. So now let's just go into the avatar part of it and add some CSS to those. So we have our profile section avatar. They would also be in a display flex, align item center. So okay, this is done. Then what we can do is, then the div which is inside this, just quickly go ahead and tap into the div. Okay, let's just add a margin left of minus 10 px so that they overlap on each other. Let's see how our UI looks now. Okay, I think so. We have our text, then these two are actually also overlapping on each other. Let's just increase their size a bit. What we can do is quickly, let's just directly use style and add some width and height. So let's just give it a width and height of 40 px and a height of 50 px. Let's see how this looks. Okay, I think so we can increase it 80, so double of it. Okay, it's too much. Let's go with 60 then. Okay, so 60 looks good. They are properly overlapping on each other as well. What we can do is one more thing. This whole section, just give me a margin towards the right of 10 pixels so that there is a bit of a gap in between this and the avatar section as well. Okay, this I think so looks pretty good. Let's just check our UI as well once. Okay, so we have this 4 profile avatars, then we have our text. Let's just style this text as well quickly. So we have one, I think so, p tag we have used for this. Okay, I think so we can directly just add some styles here. Don't need to do that much, just add some. Let's say add a font size of 16 px and a color of light gray. And let's just copy the same thing for above as well. Okay, light gray is actually too, let's see gray. Okay, gray makes much more sense. Let's use the gray. Okay, this looks pretty good. This also looks pretty good. So I think so this section is completed. Let's focus on creating our right side now. Then this text will also be align accordingly, and then if needed we will manipulate this whole text, but first we will create the right section and see how much how much we are going to give the properties of flex towards the right and towards the left, and then we will handle this the text that is going towards the end of the screen. Then we will properly manage it accordingly. So let me quickly go to my home section 4. Let's start by creating one more section. So this will be our right section, so let's just name this as right image section. Okay, this will give us our, we will have our div. Okay, this div, so there are two options. Either we give it an image and then use position absolute for the other images to stack on top of it, or we can also directly add a background image over this, but I don't think so. Let's go with that approach only. Let's create our image. Let me just quickly take some randoms. I think so in my home section 3 we have multiple, yes, we have some data. So let me just copy this one. Okay, so this will be our home section 4 source image. Okay, let me just add some alternate to it. Okay, let's just go ahead and call this as well. Let's just, okay, so this section will be profile section, and then we have this, right? So actually we need to use one div here. Profile section actually will go inside that div. This is because our left side we have profile section, as well as there will be a the numbers that we see, right? That's also towards the left only. So this will be towards all the things towards left, and then one more. Let's not give one more div. Just directly call this. But let's just go with the format. It's not an issue. Okay, so we have our right image section as well. Then what we can do is just go ahead and give this home section 4 main containers. That makes much more sense. And in our CSS at the top, let's just directly give them a flex property, because our left and right would be in flex. So let's just give this flex. So now our left section and right sections would be in a flex. Let's just see the output quickly. Okay, so we have our left section as well as our right section. Let's just use some, okay, we can use some other image, I think so. Let me just go to home section 3 and let's just use this one. Okay, not just this one, I think so. This one is of some hotel, I think so, because that image is not, properly I think so. We need to change that image. Let me quickly check. Okay, I think so. Now it's fixed. Let's see. Okay, this looks good. So we have our left section as well as our right section. Okay, now here what more we can do is let's okay, let's give some width and height to this. Okay, let me just add a class name to this, and we will again stack on top of this as well, right? So let's just give this right image section container. Okay, give this a class name as image. Let's just give this directly image only, and quickly go ahead and do some styles to this image. Width, just keep it as 30 view width. We can see how it changed. And height, let's just keep it as 65 view height. Let's just see first. Okay, let me do object width because it's getting pixelated. So we need cover for this. Okay, I think so. We should increase a width a bit, and as well as our height. Okay, let's see. This looks pretty good. I think so. We can increase more as well. Let's keep it as 80. I think so. 80 view height, and increase this to 45. This makes much more sense. So this looks good. Let's add some border radius as well. Border radius of 22 pixels. Okay. Now, what more things we can add to this? We have a border radius. We have our left text. We have our container as well. Let's just start by adding the details above it, which we see. So what we can do is set this only. Let's just create one more div. And what are the things that we actually need to see on this screen? Let's see that. Okay, so let's start by creating the bottom container of this. Bottom container has build your drinks the text, as well as towards the right. Okay, they have this get the consultation special offer kind of a thing. What we can do is, instead of this, let me create one more. Const get bottom container. Create a bottom container inside this. bottom container. Okay, so this will be display flex, where we will having h2 with text as building your dreams. Okay, so we have our h2. Then we have one more div. Okay, this div, we have one icon, a question mark icon. Okay, and that is also, okay, this needs to be inside a div because it's a circle and inside it we have an icon. So that's the thing for this. And then below this we have another div which has a background color of white. Inside it we have one avatar. Okay, and let's just give it a source and just copy the same source that we're given to this avatar. Actually, just copy this whole avatar itself, because then size and everything will keep the same. So we have our avatar, and then this avatar is in flex with. Okay, so the avatar is in flex with a small span of special offer written. Okay, and just below this we will have one h1. I suppose we'll get the consultation with our experts, Okay, let's just go ahead and call this here. Let's see how it looks first. Okay, so we have this special offer, building your dreams. Let's start adding css to this. We'll give it a class name of bottom container. So let's go ahead and first add some property to this bottom container. Here, let's copy this. Our bottom container will be display flex, align items center, justify content space between, because we want it to stretch towards both the end. So we have this properties, so building your dreams, and this, both of them would be stretched apart. Then we can go ahead and let's add some properties to this guy here. Last name, this would be bottom, let's special offer container. So this makes much more sense. Let's go ahead and, okay, no, special offer container. Okay, so it has two things, because we have, okay, so what we can do is, let's just take it as a special offer only. Special offer container, let's just give the name first. Let's add some properties for the special offer itself. For special offer, because we have an icon, question mark icon, and then below we have the actual special offer that we are able to see on the screen. Let me also quickly show the UI here. So as you can see in the UI, we have this question mark icon, and then this special offer is there. So that's why we are using this special offer. We will add flex properties to this. So we'll use flex and then a flex direction as column for this, and then we will go ahead and add some create this one, and then create the question mark one. So let's go ahead and add display flex. We have the flex direction of column. Okay, so these two things are sorted. Once we have this, let's first see the UI quickly, how it looks. It's my UI. Okay, okay, so these two are aligned. Then we have this, once we create it, it will get aligned. Let's quickly add some properties to this div. Let's create a class name, just name it as a special offer container. Okay, so we have a special offer container. This special offer container will have a background color of white. So let's just give it a white color. It will have a padding of 10 pixels from all the sides. Inside it will be display flex, align item center. Okay, let's just quickly see how it looks. Okay, special offer is below. Okay, one more thing we need to do is, let's just remove the style of the default margin that it gives. Okay, let's see now. Okay, this looks good, and this will be our avatar. Let's just add a margin in between them, margin towards right. Let's just do 10 pixels. Okay, so we have this special offer. This for h1, let's use h3 here. Actually, it doesn't look, it looks too big for h1. This makes much more sense. And I think so we just now left with adding the question mark above, and then we can move this above the image itself. Okay, let me quickly switch to my editor. Okay, I'm on my VS Code. Okay, so this is the div. Let me quickly import the question mark. Okay, let's use this question mark directly here. Okay, so we have our question mark. We can add a class name for just name it as question mark, and set up home section 4. We'll have a question mark. We need a background color. Okay, let me copy the color from our explore card. This is the color I think so we will need. Let me paste it here. Okay, so we have a color. Then the border radius like 42 pixels. Let's give it the width of, let's say, 40 pixel and the height of 40 pixel. Let's see how it looks first. Okay, here it is. Okay, let's align that in the center. This will be display flex, align item center, justify content center, so that all the elements which is inside it stays in center. So this is how it will move towards center as well. Okay, so we have this. Actually, we can move this towards the left 10 of the UI. What we can do is, so as we wanted to the question mark towards the right end, what we can do is quickly wrap this inside one div, our question mark class. So let me just, okay, so we have this div. Let's just directly add inline styles here. What we will do is we will use display flex, align items towards the end, and also justify content end. And now let's see the UI. Okay, so it has now aligned itself towards the right end. Now let's go ahead. We have our bottom container. Okay, so let's go ahead with our bottom container. Okay, let's add position absolute for this. One more thing we need to do is actually in our right image section container. Okay, let me, I think so we haven't added any CSS for this. So for our right image section container, we need this to be of position relative. And now we have added position absolute to this. We want the bottom, let's say 20px. Let's first see how the UI will look. Okay, from bottom actually we can go ahead and add 40px. That looks, this is much better. Okay, and one more thing we need to do is inside our bottom container itself, can give it the width of 100%. Okay, so this looks good, and let's add some padding of 10px. Okay, sorry, not to the right image section, because this will give the padding towards the image as well, and we don't want to do that. What we can do is directly can give a padding to this bottom container itself. Okay, and then we need to actually align then. Okay, else what we will do is, let's remove this padding from here. Okay, let's decrease this towards 90%. How it looks, let's see. Okay, not better, let's use 95. Okay, and let's give a margin from left of 20 pixels. How it looks. Okay, and let me just quickly keep it 100 and give a, let me remove this. Okay, and let's make this 0. Okay, but I think so this will actually make it go out. As you can see, it's actually making it go out because of this margin. So I think so we have to go with this approach only. making it 95%, and then giving this, then actually it will keep it aligned in the image itself. And there are two things. First we need this h1 I think so, h2 that we have created. Let's just quickly add style to this, add a color, make it white. Okay, this is white. Then one more thing, our bottom container itself, where we have added the, okay, let's just add a border radius of 12 pixels. Okay, and also this will have a margin from top of 10 pixels. Okay, so we have our question mark, we have our special offer, we have our building your dreams, and I think so this looks good. Okay, let's create the above contact call us now button here, and let's complete this card. Okay, so let me switch to my code editor. Here we can actually use the in the home section one, we have already created one call us now button. So what we can do is go to our home section one and let's search for call us now. Okay, so there is this section already created. Let's just directly copy this section from here and directly use it in our home section 4. And inside our home section 4, let's just quickly create one const get call us now button. Okay, this will give us our button. Let's copy the code quickly with the animations. Okay, icon, I think so we can directly, let me just copy the name, array outward icon. Let's just search for this. Okay, this should be at the top. Let me copy the import. Is there anything more to import? Okay, there is wipe animation. There is phone talk icon as well. Array outward, I don't think so we, okay, I think so it also contains our array outward icon, explore all our properties. Okay, so I don't think so we need this part of scale animation part. Let's remove this section from here. We only need this much, and let's remove this import and take the phone one. We only need the phone one, we don't need the arrow one actually. Okay, so we have this, we have get call us now button. Let's go ahead and call it here. So we will at least now get our button. Let's see the UI. Okay, okay, so we have our call us now button. Let's move it towards the top left. So for this to happen, what we need to do is let's directly wrap this itself into a div here. Let me cut it from here, paste it here, and give it a style. I'm just directly adding some inline styles here. It will be going to be position absolute. We know it will be on the top, so let's just use top 20px. Let's see. Okay, we have top 20px. Then from the right, let's add 20 pixels, and yep, it looks pretty good. Let's reload it. Oh, okay, there is some animation going on, that's why. Anyhow, this animation won't because user will be coming from top towards this, so you can remove this delay as well. So let's just pass this delay as 1 or anything, it will still be okay. But user will start, our website will be started from here, so you will reload it here, then you will move down till then the animation will be loaded, so it will be here. You can also remove the animation, I just kept it for now, but if you want you can also remove that as well. I think so our right side container, the image container has been completed. Let's move ahead and create this running animation component so that we are able to complete this full page as well. Let's start by creating our animation first. So we will go into our animation folder. Here let's quickly create one running counter.js. So we have a running counter. Let me, okay, so inside this, we will start by creating the count. So here we will have this count and then a set count, where we will use our useState hook, and initially we will set it as 0. Also this running counter will take the numbers, any number that you, if let's say I want to pass 75, so from 0 to 75 it should it should show me 0 1 2 3 4 till 75, that the running animation should happen. So let's pass a target. Initially that would be 100. If you don't pass anything, then by default it will take 100. Let's also pass the duration as well, and let's keep the duration as 2. Okay, so we have both of the values. Then we will use our use effect hook. So because initially we have to go ahead and start the animation. Let me quickly complete this. Okay, so inside this use effect hook, what we will do is first we will calculate how much increment we want to do, because from 0 to 1, 0 1 till 70, 0 to, let's say I have to go from 0 to 100, then the amount of increments that I have to do in each interval, I need to calculate that. So what I will do is I will create one increment variable. Inside is what I will do is whatever target that has been passed divided by duration that has been passed, because the amount of duration that will be in seconds. So what we need to do is first we need to convert it into milliseconds, then that is divided by 10. So this formula is what will give you, let's say if I pass as a 2 seconds, so then 2 into 1000 will give us 2000 milliseconds. So this will be milliseconds, and divide by 10, it will actually give me the value of 200 milliseconds. Then that would be divided by our target that we have passed, and which will give us an actual increment in, let's say, and this 10 is actually because when we in every 10 millisecond we will increment it. So that's why we have divided by 10, so that the increment value that we get, so the amount of increment that should happen between 0 to 1, that we have added. So here we will get the increment. Once we got the increment, what we will do is we'll quickly go ahead and create our interval. So let me so interval will be set interval, and this, so we have created one set interval function, and let's just go ahead and pass in. So every 10 millisecond this set interval would run. Inside this set interval, what I would do is I will just go ahead and set the count. So for this count, I will take whatever is the previous count, because I need to again do the operations on the previous count. So whatever is the previous value, we will just increment in it whatever is the calculated increment, and we'll check if that is less than target, because it shouldn't go above target. If it's less than target, let's say the total value is less than target, then in that case we will store previous plus increment. Else, if that's not the case, then we'll just store the target only inside this case. Okay, so we have our interval function as well completed. Once this is there, then we'll check if the count is greater than equals to target. This we are doing because let's say once if you have passed 75 as your target, so 0 till 75 it has completed. Now we don't want to see the 76, because set interval will continuously run, so we need to clear this interval. So that's why we are checking that if the counts value has been equal to or greater than the target, then in that moment just go ahead and clear the interval. And that's why we have got the set interval into interval variable, and then we cleared it. Once this has been cleared, let's write one cleanup function as well, so that we don't face any memory leak issues with this. Let's just add the clear interval as well here. As you can see, because we are using target, so anytime target changes, duration, and we need the count as well. So we have our use effect also completed. Now let's just quickly change this into motion.div. Let me just use motion.div. Let's import motion quickly. So import motion from Framer Motion. We have our motion now. Inside this motion, we want to just quickly use mat.floor, because we don't want to show any point values, and mat.floor the count. So whatever will be the count, just floor it. And then inside this, we will use our animate property. For animate, we can do is let's just give some opacity. We will show it just to add some fancy kind of animation while it's running as well. So from 0 to 1, and then from 0.5 to 1. Okay, this animation. Then we need some transition, so let's just add our transition duration as well. So duration would be, let's just keep 1 for now, and then let's I think so this looks pretty good, and we can, I think so, yeah. So if we now go ahead and let me just use this running counter into our home section 4. Inside home section 4, let's just quickly below here. So just for now, we are just for checking purposes, we are using, actually this is a component, so we will just quickly use it like this. Let me import it, and let's see how does this look in the UI. Okay, let me reload it. Okay, oh okay, so here it somewhere it has reloaded it, but as you can see the animation is there till 100. Yes, this is what we want. So I think so this is working. So now let's just go ahead and embed this into our UI and complete the animation UI as well. Let's create one component. Again, what we'll do is let's create one component. That component will take the running counter and the text as well, and the border bottom which is there, and then we will use that component directly into home section 4 instead of writing the code here. So let's do that. So let's quickly hop into our source folder. Let's create one. Let me think. Okay, let's name this as a counter section.js. Okay, this will be our counter section. Actually, we should name it as counter component instead of section. Let me just quickly rename it as counter component. That's much better. Let's rename the file as well. Rename it to counter component. Okay, so inside our counter component, there are few things that we need. First is our actual running animation that we need. So this view will contain our running animation. Let me just quickly put that running animation. Okay, so this we will need. Then we have let me quickly bring the UI as well. Okay, yes, so we have our running animation, this. Then we have one successful transactions monthly. Okay, so what we can do is just use two h2 tags, one below the other, inside a div, and then use display flex over it. That would be, and then just give it. We will give one border bottom to this as well. So let's just quickly bring it here. We have this. We need one more div. Here actually we will need two h1s. Okay. Data will be passed from here, so we will need one target. So the amount of counter value that we need to run. Then we need let's name it as title and subtitle, something like this. For this h1, currently we will just let's give it title, give this as a subtitle. Okay, so we have our title, subtitle. Let's pass the target to this as well. Let us see if okay, we actually imported the wrong one, not the running animation. We have named as a running counter animation. Okay, running counter is the one, not the running. So let's just use running counter. Inside this we have a target. Let's pass our target to this, and then let's quickly add some styles. So I will directly use inline styles here. We want this to be in a display flex. So our running counter as well as the two subtitle, the title and subtitle we have will be in a flex. Then we don't want to take the full space of margin in this case. What we can do is let's just add margin left for now. Let's just go ahead and add some margin left of like 50 px for now. And then inside this running counter as well. Okay, we have this. We actually need a bit, let's use h1 actually here, and then pass this inside this. That's why that is why, because we want this to be a bigger text. The 7372 with the percent and all of those were way bigger. So currently I'm just keeping it as a h1. We will then manipulate it accordingly. So we have our div with running counter. We have other div with this. Let's just try to use this counter component in our home section 4. Okay, so now inside our profile section we have our right image section. So what we can do is just below our profile. Okay, so just below our profile section we need this, right? So what we can do is go ahead and call our there are 3 sections, I think so. So what we can do is just use a map to 3. Okay, this will be a map where we will get items. For each of them, show me a counter component. Okay, and now what we can do is okay, let's actually I think so we should just create one dummy data above inside this. Let me remove this imports that are not needed. Okay, and let's just create some dummy data. Const data, this will be an array. This will actually let's put a target value. So this will be target. Initial target was I think so 73. So 73 is the target. Title, we'll just write successful. Successful is the title. Then we have the subtitle as well. Subtitle is nothing but transactions monthly. Okay, so we have our initial data. Let's copy paste this data. Let's just change only this value. So it's 73, this is 72. and this is 367. Okay, 367. Actually, they have percentage. Okay, what we can do is, I think so. Currently, we'll keep it like this only, this data, and let's just directly pass this data here. Then we will think of manipulation of this data if we want. But currently, let's just directly pass this data. Then we need the target. So target will be nothing but item dot target. We have a title, that will be our item dot title. Then we have subtitle, which will be nothing but item dot subtitle. Okay, so we have all the three of it in place. Let's just quickly go ahead and see how does this look. Okay, this looks pretty good. We'll load it again. Okay, this looks pretty good. So there are plus percent as well with this. So the thing is, if we pass a plus here, I think so it might break. See, because it will give a not a number, because if we pass this, it will go it as a 73 plus, towards our running counter component. So that would cause us an issue. What we can do is either let's think what we can do. Okay, what we can do is we can pass an index to this, and then depending on that index we can show the plus percent and and nothing that is being shown. We have that one option to do. Okay, there is one more thing that we need to actually do before that. This h1, actually we need to increase its font size to like 45 pixels of both of them. So let's just quickly go ahead and increase their font size, but their font width needs to be a bit less. Font width, let's just keep at 600. Let me copy paste the same thing here as well. Let's first see this. How does this look? Quickly. Okay, and let me fix that anion as well. Let's just remove that 73 plus. I think so it's in our data. Yes, so it's fixed. I think so we need to reload it first, then it will get fixed. Okay, we need to also add this h1. Let us go into running counter, this h1 as well. Let's copy the style which we have given here and directly paste it here as well inside this h1, and we want the font width to be a bit more, so let's just use 700, and let's reload this. Okay, this looks pretty good. Yep, this is looking pretty good. We need to actually increase the space in between these two h1s. We need to remove the margin. So what we can do is just add margin 0px, and I think so let's just copy the same margins code for below as well. Now let's see. Okay, we need to actually then add okay, we need to add the border bottom as well. Let's quickly go ahead and add that as well now. Okay, let's first add a bottom border. So we need one bottom, actually we need a border. Okay, 1px solid border bottom, actually that we need is 1px solid light gray. Quickly see the UI. Okay, so our bottom border is added. Then also let's increase this margin left by, let's keep it 100px. What we can do is, else we want a distance in between these two, right? But it shouldn't totally go away, right? What we can do is quickly, let's just put them in a div. Okay, we have this. Okay, so now these two are inside one div. Okay, get the style. We will have display flex. Okay. Okay, for this two, then we will have one. Let's display flex. Let's add justify content space between and give them a width of, let's say, 40% of this. And let's remove this margin from here. Let's see how the UI looks now. Okay, it's still pretty close. Okay, I think so. We have this div as well. Both of them are inside this div. We won't needing this now. Okay. And let's see, we have added display flex, we have added justify content property. Let's increase this width to 50%. Okay, there is some chance. Let's give it a full width. Okay, full width, it goes up. Yes, let's give 80%. Okay, 60. So I think so 70 should be the perfect one. Yes, for 70% it looks good as well. And there is a bit of a difference in between there is a good amount of space in between them. Also, what we want is, let's add some padding as well. Let's give them a padding of 10 px. Okay, looks good. And each component itself will give some margin. Let's give a margin bottom of 20 pixels. Okay, increase it 40 pixels. Yeah, now this makes much more sense. Let me reload it. This looks actually pretty good now with the margin bottom and everything. Now we have our titles, subtitles. Actually, those are pretty big, so what we can do is, let's make them 35 and 35. Okay, because this needs to be bigger, not this, and let's align them as well. They are not aligned properly. Align items, center. Now it's properly aligned as well. Let me reload it. Okay, so we have our counters increasing, we have our text. We can now also decrease this to 60%. Okay, this looks good. Let's increase the H1's font size to 55 actually. Let's see. This looks much better with 55. And also okay, I think so this is pretty good. Now what we want is, there is a bit of a gap in between these two as well, right? So let's go ahead. So there are two options. Either we use display let's what we can do is, let's give them a 100 view height and then add a space between them, and also increase this text height to match both of them. That would be it would look pretty good in that way. So let me go here. So we have this our total div. Okay, then we have this div which only contains our profile section as well as this section, right? What we can do is, inside this main container itself, we will go into this main container, display flex. Let's give it a height of 100 view height. Okay, so now it will be taking the total page height that is available. Then what we can do is, we will go into this. Let's just give it a class name of left container. Okay, so we know that this is the left side container. Inside our left container, just above only, what you want is, it should be display flex direction we need is of column. Okay, and let's just use justify content space between. This is one thing that we need. Let's see. And okay, one more thing we need to do is, this map itself needs to be inside one div, so that the justify content shouldn't be all of those shouldn't remove. Now as you can see, it has taken the total page height as well, and it has moved it down. Now to fix this one, what we need to actually do is, now we need to actually increase this height to match to this one. Let's go into our right side image section. I think so we have given some image the height as well. Quickly check. Yes, let's keep it 100. Let's see. Okay, so this section now this section looks good as well. It's properly matched it from end to end. We will add some padding as well from here and here, so that it doesn't look the way it's looking now. We can do is quickly go into our, okay, this whole content will give 20 pixels, and let's give 20 pixels from all side. Yeah, so now 20 pixels from all side. There's a padding. Okay, let's not keep it 100 view height, let's just keep it 95. Okay, we can keep it as 90. Okay, so 95 would be pretty good. Let's go into image and also make this height to 95 view height. Yes, now it looks pretty good. It matches the UI as well when you scroll. Okay, Okay, we have this, we have running animation. Let me load it as well. Okay, we have a running animation, we have our text, we have our professional image as well. And this, let's keep this as well down. So what we can do is, let's go into our home section 4. Okay, we have our bottom container. Inside our bottom container, okay, we have aligned this, I think so. Our bottom containers, okay, we have aligned it to center. Let's remove this and let's see. Okay, let me align items towards the end. Now it looks pretty good. So now it's aligned towards the end as well. Let me reload it again. Yes, it looks pretty good. Okay. I think so. This looks pretty good. The animations are also loading, and successful is also coming up. You can change the data as well accordingly. If you want to see any other like titles and subtitles for this, you can change this number as well if you want. And let me again reload it. As you can see, this looks pretty cool. Okay, let's go ahead and just add some quick fixes, because this border is actually getting with this image. So let's just add some fixes here to make it more beautiful. To my home section 4. Okay, let's see. We have our left container. What we can do is directly to our left container, top. Let's give a margin towards the right, 40 pixels. Okay, this looks good. Okay, 40 pixels is, I think so, pretty good. Then okay, this we can also make this smaller. In the UI they have actually made it, but I don't think so we need to make it more smaller. This looks actually pretty good, and this actually matches the UI to what we are able to create it. So now let's just quickly reload it and see from the start. Okay, we have this, then this is our full section where the video is playing. We have our section where we have created these cards. As we scroll down, it goes by, then again comes this section where we have this bigger image, our numbers as well. If you reload it here as well, you can see it goes on. The animation is also good, and all the titles and subtitles are also coming up. So I think so. This looks pretty good now. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. I would love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below. In the next part, we will create our footer section and wrap our real estate website. Thank you so much for watching.